Is it live now? Dr. Purushottam?
Yes, ma'am, it is live.
Thank you.
May we start without the video? Or would it not be a good idea? Vikas sir? Should we start without the video? Or see another minute?
थोड़ा सा अगर एक बार अभी हम वेट कर लेते हैं, अभी टाइम है हमारे पास, वी हैव लॉट ऑफ टाइम.
Okay, so I'll wait for.
कोई इशू नहीं है. वो आप अपना टेक्निकल देख लीजिए. इन द मीन टाइम अगर वो होगा तो मैं थोड़ा सा वैसे ही एक ओवरव्यू नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को लेके, एबीसी को लेके मैं हल्का सा देख लूंगा, फिर बाकी का देख लेते हैं. कोई इशू नहीं.
ठीक. इसमें वीडियो नहीं आ रहा है बिल्कुल. My meeting is already. इसमें वीडियो आ ही नहीं रहा है.
Ma'am, it is there now.
Yes.
And am I absolutely audible?
Ma'am, you are audible and
लाइव नहीं हो रहा है सर.
बिल्कुल ठीक है ममता जी, अब आपका बिल्कुल ठीक है.
All right. Okay.
ठीक है अंजलि जी, स्टार्ट करिए अब आप.
Okay, thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to all. I, Dr. Anjali Gupta, welcome you all to the first technical section of second day of 2 weeks interdisciplinary international refresher course on Academic Bank of Credits, ABC scheme in higher education, UGC regulation 2021 with reference to blended learning. For the session, we have with us Ms. Mamta Rani Agarwal. Ma'am is presently working as Advisor 1 in All India Council for Technical Education. She worked as Joint Secretary, University Grants Commission, Additional Secretary, Association of Indian Universities, and Director, Education, New Delhi previously. Ma'am is also from the first batch of lady officers in the Indian Air Force being commissioned as pilot officer. Dr. Agarwal has extensive academic experience working in higher education sector, apex national level academic bodies like UGC, AIU, IP University, and allied systems. Ma'am has a deep understanding of higher education systems, functioning of regulatory bodies, universities, colleges, open and distance learning systems. She has an experience at both ends, whether formulating policies as well as being beneficiary or implementing functionary of the same at the institutional level. Mrs. Agarwal has traveled extensively and has been an international speaker at the University of Columbia, New York, on the topic Urban Education Innovations in K-12. Ma'am also shared her views on reforming school systems in global cities in the Global Summit in New York. Dr. Agarwal has been a part of many academic delegations or conferences and published a number of papers. His Excellency, the President of India, has nominated Ma'am as his nominee on the board of governors of National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Kolkata, an institute of national importance. Additionally, Dr. Agarwal is a member on the board of governors, governing body of many universities or colleges. Ma'am has an expert member in the task force on the implementation of NEP in AICTE and Government of Gujarat. In addition, she is a resource person on varied subjects such as higher education and planning, implementation, benchmarking and global ranking, national education policy, gender inclusion, etc. Mrs. Agarwal has complied and edited 5 volumes reference book, namely Handbook of National Education Policy 2020, probably the first book on NEP. I welcome you, ma'am, on behalf of Teaching Learning Center, Ramanujan College, Center for Canadian Studies, South Campus, and Indian Accounting Association, NCR chapter. And we are very grateful, ma'am, that you just spared some valuable time in order to be a resource person in this refresher course. Also, we have with us Dr. Vikas Gupta. Sir is the Registrar University of Delhi and has worked as Joint Registrar University of Delhi for almost 14 years. Sir was also the Director and Member Secretary Distance Education Council. Sir was also designated as Territory and Regional Officer CBSE. For 4 years, Sir took up the responsibility of Deputy Registrar University of Delhi and
Anjali ji,
also has worked on the position of Assistant Director AICT for 5 years.
Anjali ji, I am
Sir
part of
has
your college only, so I don't think so. We
IT
need such. I don't think so. Being a part of the university only, the college is as a maintained institution of the university. I
Sir,
don't think
you
so we
have
need
been
such
humble enough to already
Thank
tell
you so
that
much.
that is your only work, but still, sir, it is
I
a
think
precedence of Dr. JL Gupta that we should read something about you, sir.
that's
So,
more than enough. That's more than enough because we want to hear
so,
Dr. Kantarani Agarwal for all those inputs.
So thank you, sir. One thing that is on a personal note that we would really like to add here is that the theme and idea of these 14 days refresher course is the brainchild of Dr. Vikas Gupta and Dr. JL Gupta. Dr. Vikas Gupta, throughout our journey of framing this refresher course, has been there for us continuously and has supported us in every possible manner, for which we are really thankful to him, sir. Thank you, sir, for being there for us. Thank you, ma'am. And now over to you.
May I take 1 minute?
Ma'am, we have with us Dr. J.L. Gupta, sir, has also joined our mentor of this refresher course. And we also have Dr. Rekha Dayal, who has already wished you a hello. Both of them are there.
Very good afternoon, all of you. Thank you, Dr. Anjali Gupta, for such a generous introduction and a lovely banter between you and Dr. Vikas Gupta. Dr. S.K. Agrawal, Dynamic Principal of Ramanujan College, University of Delhi, Dr. J.L. Gupta, Course Coordinator, Dr. Amita Gupta, Dr. Rekha Dayal, Dr. Anjali Gupta, and of course, our very dear, very, very own, a distinguished officer, Dr. Vikas Gupta, Registrar of Delhi. Friends from academia, various stakeholders of higher education, and dear participants. It is indeed my privilege to share my thoughts on one of the most relevant extant topic, Academic Bank of Credit, or very beautifully acronymed as ABC. It is a Herculean task to connect to audience, retain their interest or receptivity, their perceptivity in an absolute online mode, where there is no physical presence, no eye contact, no bodily perception. But nonetheless, as COVID has taught us, I should try to do my best. The government, under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, approved National Education Policy in July 2020. The new policy aims to pave way for transformational reforms in school as well as higher education systems in the country, and has been formulated after an unprecedented, collaborative, inclusive, and highly participatory consultation process. This comprehensive national education policy, it is an exhaustive concept document with valuable insights covering all segments of academia, be it school education, higher education, teachers education, professional education, and other key focus areas. NEP has proposed revision and revamping of all aspects of education I just touched upon. But more than that, whether it is structure, regulations, governance, and it envisages to create a system that is aligned with the aspirational goals of 21st century education, global citizenship, and remaining deeply, deeply rooted to our country's traditions and value system. The policy document is essentially an enriching composition catering to all academic stakeholders, be it academic leaders, faculty, students, community, researcher, industry, and even policy formulation leaders. Again, this policy envisions a complete overhaul and re-energizing of the higher education system, overcome existing challenges of the academia, which it keeps on facing since time immemorial, and more so with disruptive technological advancements, and thereby deliver a good quality higher education with two pillars: equity, quality, and inclusivity. We all must admit, just look back about the past 2 years, couple of years, that with the progression of disruptive technological advancements and COVID pandemic, there is a paradigm shift in teaching learning processes. New era education, as it has evolved since 2020, it's much more collaborative, cross-institutional, cross-cultural, or if I may say multi-directional, enabling a beautiful convergence of man and machine. And of course, it challenges our way of teaching. It makes us explore many new pedagogies. Students, not only learners, they are no longer only learners. They play a very key roles as creators of knowledge in a self-paced, self-directed, and interest-based learning ecosystem, which we as teachers, as administrators, and as students are forming in a coexistent manner. So this interest-based learning ecosystem and the tools have changed. Video conferencing, Skypes, wikis, blogs, virtual classrooms, simulators, MOOCs, animated laboratories, personalized data from interconnected world, and so on and so forth. As compared to chalk and board, these have become the learning techniques. These are the newer learning techniques. And we all need to embrace these changes. These changes are essentially need to be embraced, and we all need to acclimatize. ABC, or Academic Bank of Credit, is yet another step in this direction. Now, the two keywords here for this Academic Bank of Credit would be academic flexibility and student-centric approach. Now, we have been hearing a lot, and it is a new concept. It is a novice concept for Indian academia. And of course, sooner than later, it would emerge into a full-fledged, actionable, executable format document. But till that time, we all are, in our collective wisdom, trying to develop how would Academic Bank of Credit be working. I have taken inputs from draft regulation of University Grants Commission, and by and large, most of my discussion would be based on those draft regulations. So Academic Bank of Credit is essentially credit-based, highly flexible, student-centric academic service mechanism. It is a digital, virtual, online, whatever way you want to call it, entity, establishment, and managed either by Ministry of Education or by University Grants Commission or any other organization which would take place as one of the four verticals of ICI, to facilitate students to become its academic account holders. We can actually draw parallels with commercial banks, and we all being the holders, keeping our money there. Here, students as the account holders and keeping their credits earned by them in these. Now, when they become academic holders, what does it do? It paves the way for seamless student mobility between or within degree granting higher education institutions. See, it would have always been done by certain universities having signed MOUs or certain understanding between them. But now this is establishing a formal system of credit recognition, credit accumulation, credit transfer, and whenever need arises within a span, within a defined span, credit redemption to promote distributed and flexible teaching learning. Now, why would we really give more and more time, how do you feel it would serve the purpose for students? In my personal opinion, different people in their lives seek different life goals. They have different circumstantial conditions, and accordingly, they need to have flexibility to understand and acquire knowledge as per their pace, as per their liking, as per their interest, as per their life goals. How would it help the community, society, and academia? In a way, industry would have workforce that is of different age group, different maturity level, different level of education, and different skill sets level, as people would be entering and exiting various higher education institutions at different stages, or say different level. That is for our industry. Now, how does it help the community and society? For the community and society, that bar, that once if you have entered and you have not been able to complete your higher education for whatever is the reason, you can still get back. So it would be a great promotional level. It would be a great motivator for the people who want to pursue their higher education, and would take away all the bars, regulatory bars, which was preventing the students who either due to certain unfortunate circumstances or because of their own non-motivation at that time could not pursue and complete their education within the specified time. So academic flexibility, it would provide essentially the academic flexibility. Now, why do and how do we understand this academic flexibility? It is a provision for innovative and interchangeable curriculum structures to enable creative combination of courses, creative combination of programs in discipline of study. It may lead to degree, it may lead to diploma, PG diplomas, certificates of study, whatever is the level at which a student is either entering a higher education institution or exiting. So it offers essentially multiple entry and exit facilities, which as it is being envisaged in our National Education Policy 2020. It removes the rigid curricular boundaries, and it creates new possibilities for lifelong learning, possibilities of learning within a varied combination of subjects. Subjects as per your own liking, subject as per your own life goals. Again, it is applicable to both courses as in specified unit which comprises a program of study or any program of study that is a higher education program pursued for a degree specified as of now in UGC Act or in times to come as defined by the HICI or any of its verticals by the feudal government or say by the central government. Now, how would we define credit? Would these be uniform? Yes, credits would be uniform for the institutions, which essentially would become partnering institutions of academic bank of credit. So credits here would mean standard methodology of calculating either 1 hour of theory or 1 hour of tutorial or 2 hours of laboratory work on weekly basis for the duration of the semester, whatever is the duration of the semester, that is 13 to 15 weeks in a broad manner. So credits for internship, again, these can also be credited or these can also be accumulated. As of now, as UGC has proposed, 1 week, 1 credit per 1 week, subject to a maximum of 6 credits. Credits can be awarded by all member degree awarding institutions. Now, this academic bank of credit would not accept or would not really be directly in access with the students. It would only be available to partnering higher education institutions as categorically laid down in the Act of University Grants Commission. So essentially, what do we understand is that partnering institutions or the member institutions of Academic Bank of Credit are universities in India, established or incorporated by a central act or a provincial act or a state act, autonomous colleges or non-autonomous colleges affiliated to different universities, which essentially are degree awarding universities and deemed to be universities. There is another condition in this, that these institutions, the institutions that would become member in Academic Bank of Credit or would be the partners in that Academic Bank of Credit, they should essentially be accredited by National Assessment and Accreditation Council, that is NAC, or maybe in times to come, if any other body replaces it or is established in its place. And at least their accreditation will be A grade level. So as of now, UGC has planned that the mobility of students, that is credit accumulation and subsequent credit redemption, would only be among students that are accredited by NAC at least at A grade level. Now, do we think that, it is ABC that would be defining that what would be the different credits and coursework requirements for certificate or say diploma or degree? No, that continues to remain same as is in the existing extant system. So credit requirements as well as essential components of a study for award of either an undergraduate degree or a graduate degree, UG, PG as we call it here, a diploma, or the coursework requirements for PhD programs would essentially be defined by the respective universities or autonomous institutions partnering in the ABC scheme. So ABC is a mechanism. However, this defines of, or this definition of what would be the essential components, how many credits to be earned, what would make essential for a UG or a PG degree to be earned, continues to be defined by the universities or autonomous institutions. ABC, the Academic Bank of Credit, shall provide to each of the students the facility to open a unique and individual academic bank account in digital form. Exactly again, the same way we do open a unique bank account in any commercial bank where we deposit our money. And each account holder, like in any other case, would be provided with a unique ID and standard operating procedure, which would be essentially the standard operating procedure for Academic Bank of Credit. Now, how would we be accumulating our credit? How would we be looking at the recognition of these credits? And how would these credits be in a later date, on a later date, or in a later time frame would be redeemed? So credit accumulation means the facility created by the Academic Bank of Credit in the academic bank account. It is opened by the students across the country in order to transfer and consolidate the credits earned by them by undergoing courses in any of the eligible higher education institutions, that is, which I have already defined, universities, autonomous colleges deemed to be universities that are eligible, accredited A by the NAC, and are members of Academic Bank of Credit. Credit recognition would mean the credit earned through these eligible partnering universities, higher education institutions, and transferred directly to the ABC by the concerned university or by concerned eligible higher education institution. Now, credit redemption would mean that process of commuting the accrued credits in the academic bank of credit or the academic account of the specific student, which is being maintained by academic bank of credit for the purpose of fulfilling the credits required for the award of degree or diploma or certificate by the degree awarding HEIs, as the case may be. I'll explain with an example. Hypothetically, suppose there is a course for which the requirement is that you should at least earn 100 credits or say 120 credits. If you went to X institution, you earn 40 credits, and then those 40 credits are already accumulated, available in your academic bank of credit. The bank account, which you as a unique student, you are maintaining that bank account in this academic bank of credit. And then to certain reason, whatever be the reason, you move to another institution, which is again eligible and A grade institution, also a partnering institution of academic bank of credit. Now you don't again have to earn more 60 credits to be eligible for conferring degree or award of degree. You only have to earn remaining 60 credits provided you are within the time frame. Government is contemplating, various agencies are contemplating what should be the time frame. Should it be 5 years, should it be 7 years, or should it be extended to 10 years for a student to redeem the credits earned by him or her. So now you move to an eligible agency that is grade A accredited and a partner institution. You can demand that your 40 deposited academic credit be redeemed so that you only have to earn remaining 60 credits for award of degree. And that is what it means. Now, credit transfer means mechanism by which any eligible HEI, any eligible university, which is registered with the academic bank of credit, is able to receive, is able to provide those prescribed credits. I have just now given you an example, 40 credits for the prescribed credits, to individual student registered ABC account in adherence to, as of now, the body is UGC, but in times to come, any body, credit norms, whatever the framework, the academic credit framework for the courses registered by the desirous student in any eligible higher education institutions. As of now, this facility is available among HEIs within India only, but maybe in times to come, we would also be in a position that we recognize and allow these credit transfers from foreign universities or say very well respected foreign university. Now the question comes is, why academic bank of credit? Why should really we be doing it? So academic bank of credit, it has been envisaged in national education policy that it would be a national level facility to promote flexibility of curriculum framework, to promote interdisciplinarity, to promote multidisciplinarity, academic mobility of students across the higher education institutions in the country with appropriate credit transfer mechanism. Now, how would this credit transfer mechanism be created? This would be created through regulations to be defined either by UGC or a body replacing it. It shall be a mechanism to facilitate the student to choose their own learning path to attain a degree, diploma, PG diploma. And it primarily works on the principle of multiple entry, anytime, anywhere, any level of learning, self-paced learning, my time learning. And it enables the integration of multiple disciplines of higher education, higher learning, leading to the desired learning outcomes, increased creativity, innovations, higher order thinking, critical analysis among students, among learners. It is felt that Academic Bank of Credit will provide significant autonomy to the students by making them available extensive choice of courses for the program of study they are opting for, the flexibility in curriculum, novel and engaging course options across a number of higher education disciplines, institutions. So if I may really summarize it, it's choice-based. So it will enable a student to select the best course, best combination of courses, to suit his or her own aptitude, her knowledge thirst, goal in life, requirement, maybe industry level, what, where, and when and what is he planning to do in life. It definitely, essentially is self-paced. It would permit students to choose a pace for their studies, along with the associated logistics, along with the associated cost. It is tailor-made. It will allow students to tailor their degrees or make specific modifications, specific changes, choose specializations, rather than undergoing the rigid, regularly prescribed degrees, the way we have been doing BSc, BCom, BA. So in place of a regularly prescribed degree or course of a single university or a single autonomous college. Of course, it would enable multiple entry and exit. I have already said how it would cater to the industry, how it would cater to the society, and how it would bring value addition to the community. It would also support procedurally conduction of the teaching learning activities in a distributed and blended manner through integration across disciplines, across different departments, across campuses, across universities, autonomous colleges, and much more increased horizontal as well as vertical mobility. To facilitate lifelong learning, because it would also promote, it would also encourage integration among foreign and informal, formal, informal, distance learning, online mode, blended mode, students, both from full-time and part-time modes. I personally believe that Academic Bank of Credit would satisfy the students' quest for knowledge, freedom to choose, and change their academic directions, connect different domains, and help them acquire the right foundations and building blocks of their dreams, provided we all embrace it with open mind and we have suitably fitting regulations. Also, hand-holding of the institutions, which as of now do not have the facility or do not have the infrastructure to be accredited A grade. Now the question is, I have only been talking good things about Academic Bank of Credit, but Academic Bank of Credit would pose humongous challenges for all the institutions, universities, academic institutions, if there is or there would be that level of vertical and horizontal mobility. Would admissions be open round the clock? All the institutions where they are self-financing, if a student leaves after first year or if a student leaves after 2 years, how about the fee, which is one of the important self-sustaining part for those institutions? Also, when would it actually not necessarily encourage certain level of dropout rates among students who may not reach that maturity level to understand that they may continue their education at one go if the situation so permits? These are challenges, and there would be so many more challenges. How do you think that this ABC, how would it be implemented? Or what would be the methodology which needs to be followed during its implementation. As I have been repeating, that it is essentially credit-based, highly flexible and student-centric scheme. But HEIs, when I say HEIs, I either mean universities or autonomous colleges or even non-autonomous affiliated colleges which are eligible and accredited institutions. They will have to first become members, partners of Academic Bank of Credit. Now they will have to amend their rules. They will have to amend their course registration, their course requirements, their credit requirements, and they will have to have a procedure for acceptance of interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary courses. The credits to be offered to these courses, credit transfers, credit recognition by other institutions, credit acceptance from all other HEIs. This would require that they essentially need to have approval of their statutory bodies. It can be governing council, it can be syndicate, it can be senate, board of management, whatever name you say. But there has to be a clear proposal and a clear approval from their statutory bodies. If they are professional courses where a statutory council is involved, whether it is Medical Council of India or Council of Architecture or Pharmacy Council of India, they may also require approval from the statutory council. Another thing is very, very micro thing, but they would also need to redesign their entire form, their online mechanism through which they admit students, as admission may not have a defined time frame. It may not have a defined eligibility criteria. I wish to narrate without taking the name of a university. In one of, during my time at UGC, one of the courses where a student wanted to do physics honors, physics, masters in physics, and he applied to a very well-known university, but under choice-based credit system in the graduation level, he has studied physics, maths, and he did not study chemistry, and in place of chemistry, he had psychology. But that university, that well-known university where he wanted to go, he wanted to pursue his higher education, when he applied for its admission form, there was, each time he filled physics, mathematics, and psychology, it rejected, saying that it is a wrong input. So probably the entire system of looking at admissions, be it in terms of eligibility criteria, be it in terms of the duration for which admission is to be granted, everything needs to be changed. Again, these participating HEIs, these universities, they will have to enable students to build their degrees as per their choice. Now, it's very, very easy for us to say that they build their degrees as per their choice. But if suppose there is a student who has studied maybe only zoology and has left botany and subsequently decides to go back to masters in botany, would we allow that? So I think these are the questions that, like, National Institute of Open Schooling at a school level has this flexibility that they allow a student in class 12 to pass in any 5 subjects. One subject has to be a language, then another 2 core subjects, and one can even take subjects like painting, fine arts, and physical education. And when I was there, I realized that Delhi University, JNU, the universities which are based out of Delhi, where NIOS is based, they were not admitting the students, saying that the students do not have the required subjects. So if let's say for engineering, if you essentially take maths, physics, and chemistry, and if a student only studies, say, chemistry and mathematics, do you allow? So I think Academic Bank of Credit, more than the mechanism, it is a larger question which needs to be addressed by our distinguished academicians and policy formulating leaders as to what level of acceptability for higher education institutions, for industry, for academia, we are ready to accept and offer. However, any choices across the country with respect to their degrees must fall in certain, in my personal opinion, in certain broad framework within the limitations of that university, that registered university, that is member of Academic Bank of Credit. But you have to have an overall broad defined curriculum, credit structure, and flexibility of allowing students preferably within that broad curriculum. Now, when we say that, somewhere it curtails that academic flexibility, but then it can't be left to open to that a student is passing with only physical education, fine arts, painting, dramatics. So at least something needs to be defined. Again, when we say a blended mode, an online mode, an offline mode, and distance education, to what level, whether it can be 50 to 70% of the total credits, say in offline mode, say 30 to 50% credits in an online mode, or how do we define, again, all these things as necessary approvals for credit flexibility, credit sharing, taking approval from statutory bodies, in case affiliated institutions, then taking approval even from the university, that is the degree granting university, must become some of the prerequisites for HEIs to remember in case they effectively want to implement Academic Bank of Credit. Academic Bank of Credit, I'm sure all of you understand, would be a special purpose vehicle, and as envisaged in the draft, it must maintain a separate website, a dynamic online directory of HEIs, all the member universities, and those member universities must continue to satisfy the criteria which has been laid down either by UGC or any other body replacing it. Now, when we say, let's take a case where as on date, A institution is accredited A by NAC, whereas in a year from now, it no longer has accreditation of A. Then, as per the draft regulations, which they have said, that institute would cease to become the member of Academic Bank of Credit. However, for the privilege of the students, all the students who have admitted in that institution on or before the date, till the time it was A grade institution, would continue to have the privilege of Academic Bank of Credit, that is credit accumulation, credit recognition, credit transfer, and if need be, credit redemption. Again, it has been proposed that these Academic Bank of Credit registered HEIs, universities, they shall provide continuous student counseling, student guidance, and mentoring, promoting the student, encouraging the students to open an academic account in ABC with the details of utilization of various services of ABC in terms of how a credit is defined, how is it accumulated, how is it transferred, and how redemption may take place. See, it is also very, very important that we must bring all these students, the faculty members, the academic leaders, members of the Senate, members of governing council, whatever you may call it, on board to understand the concept of Academic Bank of Credit and how can it be effectively implemented within your institutions, within institutions of the same ranking, and in future, if possible, if it is possible, within institutions of higher ranking or say higher grade, and institutions which do not necessarily have same grade, because academic institutions are at different levels of their establishment, different levels of their progression, and different levels of their academic journey. Some of them will continue to require hand-holding, mentoring to establish as they need to. Credit earned by these students will have to be deposited in their respective account of academic bank of credit. And as of now, there is a defined shelf life of at least 5 years from the date of earning, from the date of when you have earned that credit. And it has been specified by the degree awarding institution or the credit awarding institution, and it has been transferred by that degree awarding institutions. Once the credit is redeemed, suppose you redeem your credit for the award of any degree, it would be irrevocably debited from the respective students, that specific students' academic account, and it can never in future be redeemed again, whatever the case may be. Now, based on the sufficiency of the overall total credits earned and types of credit earned, a student can become eligible for award of specific diploma or degree or certificate or PG diploma. But it has to be essentially as per the approved norms of the HEIs in which the student has taken admission, or not necessarily in that, but the institution from where it seeks to get the degree. That is, I wish to clarify, I was wrong at a point. It is the institution, it is the university from where the student is seeking award of degree. So for this specific purpose, building or completion of degree requirements would use, as of now, the method of floating credits, that the credits remain floated and the transfer of credits either between intra and inter institutions, that is, different departments of the same university, different colleges, constituent colleges of the same university, or maybe among different universities, wherein the credits once used or redeemed can't be used for any other formal purposes or course papers. It's absolute clarity. Since ABC intended to promote multi and interdisciplinarity higher education as its fundamental principle, the structure of courses with appropriate credit requirements can be apportioned as core courses, core electives, open electives, skill enhancement electives, ability enhancement electives. Again, whether you wish to define your core electives, open electives, skill enhancement, ability enhancement, or additional courses, the approval of the statutory body, or in case of professional, and approval of the body of your university, your HEI, would become one of the most essential mandate or mandatory requirement. While awarding the degree awarding HEI will definitely follow the norms, guidelines, and again, as I have already said, stipulated broad framework from time to time in terms of number of credits for a specific course or overall total duration within which the course is to be completed. However, in respect of time duration, a student seeking degree under ABC scheme, after he has already earned the stipulated credit, can avail a relaxation, maybe of 1 semester, maybe of 1 year, as would be decided by the regulatory body or decided by the university, which is the member, or that is the member of the academic bank of credit. Fee fixation, again, it would be either decided by the respective universities, among universities, membering universities of ABC, or per se may become an integrated part of academic bank of credits regulations. Please give me a moment. Now comes the essential part. How would we support? How would we ensure the quality? How would the monitoring of academic bank of credit be ensured by the universities? So primarily, it comes to that individual HAIs. It becomes the responsibility of the university concerned that as the guidelines, as the regulation, the framework of ABC, that to monitor the development and operationalization of the ABC program, that is Academic Bank of Credit program, at the departmental level, at the university level, at their affiliated college level, autonomous college level, or say constituent college level. The university will offer teachers, staff training, mentoring, academic and administrative audit, again, counseling, mentoring of students, and all other such measures to ensure that quality of performance of the students who get their degree, who are awarded the degree through the provisions of ABC, remains at par or better than the regular students. And they also pursue an education that is essentially holistic, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and within the framework of that, it lies within the broad framework of Academic Bank of Credit. So you may require serious, continuous faculty development programs, quality improvement programs, professional development programs, technology inculcation programs, and then, how do you allow that seamless integration of different departments? How do you allow seamless integration of different disciplines, different subjects? So I think it is beyond the regulation. It needs a paradigm shift in our thought process. It needs change in our psychological bent of mind. It needs change in our attitudinal leanings as to we need to embrace each and every program with open mind, rather than saying that students should be studying physics, chemistry, or maths, or botany, zoology, and chemistry. So the quality assurance of Academic Bank of Credit, its implementation at the eligible registered partnering HEIs shall be developed by that specific university, by that specific college, either through internal quality assurance cell or any other appropriate structured mechanism, that is established well within the premise or well within the parameters of that university. It is to be suitably framed and decided by the HEIs. Again, a very good combination of ODL, online, blended, distance learning, offline, can be worked out to come to a level where it would be a valuable, holistic, multidisciplinary Academic Bank of Credit-based education. Again, universities, autonomous colleges, individually accredited by NAC at A grade level, needs to be partner, needs to become member of Academic Bank of Credit, and they must, in a transparent manner, develop either a separate website or at least a link on their website providing complete information about Academic Bank of Credit, the courses they are offering, the programs they are offering, everything, their member institutions, and the total duration. How do they reach out to students? Of course, there should be a grievance redressal material and so on and so forth. But primarily, what I feel is that as a concept, Academic Bank of Credit is one of the finest concepts providing academic flexibility, student-centric mechanism, and as I would love it, studying English with mathematics, or maybe studying bio with psychology. But then I still feel that we as academia, we as a country, have a long way to go. It is not only about regulations, it's about having infrastructure. It's more than that. It's allowing my infrastructure, sharing my infrastructure with others. It's sharing infrastructure, sharing facilities, sharing academia, everything among departments, among different universities, among colleges. So I think we need to embrace this change. It is one of the highest change of our time. And I think that I have been able to bring in some insight with my limited wisdom in academic bank of credit. We have a long way to go, but we need to take those tiny steps. Thank you so very much, Dr. Vikas Gupta, for inviting me for this wonderful session. And thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can we take up the questions now, because we have a lot of questions coming on YouTube Live. I'll just go through the questions quickly, ma'am. Ma'am, there is one question from Rudram Mishra, sir. He's having two questions. First is that are ICSSR institutes allowed courses under ABC? And another question is that if an institution is not in national ranking, but in state ranking for higher education institutions, can they offer courses under ABC?
Good evening, Rudramji. Firstly, see, it's very, very clear that when they say that it has to be an eligible institution, an eligible institution essentially mean a degree conferring institution. Now, in our country, awarding of degree as mandated in UGC Act is allowed to a university either established by the parliament or established by provincial government or established by state government or some of the institutions which are deemed to be university and another institutions which are pre-independence institution and today have been awarded the status of deemed to be university. That is one. As of now, the draft regulation does not talk about the standing in NIRF ranking. It talks about having A grade by NAC or anybody replacing NAC. So if their institution falls within these two broad categories, and secondly, if their statutory body, whatever it is, suppose they are running a pharmacy course, if they are running a professional course, then Pharmacy Council of India will come into picture. If they are running normal courses, in that case, in that specific case, they need approval of the whatever it is. It can be Senate, Syndicate, Executive Council, Governing Council. And if within that the provisions are allowed, then of course they can conduct courses under ABC, otherwise they cannot. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Another question by Vijita Seth, ma'am. She's asking that, like, according to NAC 2020, only 22% of the universities and colleges are having A grade. And that is what is the essential requirement under the ABC scheme. So what about the rest of the colleges which are below the A grade?
So
We have been discussing it in the sessions, but again, ma'am, a question has come up.
Of course, it's a big challenge. And, you know, as I would say that it has all across horizontal and vertical mobility, so it would not have. If you honestly ask me in that sense, because as of now, University Grants Commission is talking about A grade accredited institutions, and government has a very ambitious project that all the institutions should be either by mentoring, hand-holding, you know, having in NEP there is also a provision of mentor-mentee institutions that, you know, to take them to the level, to groom them to the level of reach A grade. I'm sure in times to come something will also work out, because we can't really leave number of institutions that are not A grade, but as of now it is A grade only, and because of only few institutions or 20% institutions being A grade, it would only have limited mobility. Thank you.
Ma'am, another question by Amar Kurli 27. Amar Kurli, ma'am, she's asking that if one student is enrolled in more than one colleges or university, then what about the original documents where they have to be submitted, or school leaving certificates and things like that? I think these are all implementation problems that we will be facing.
But I can still answer that if a student takes admission in one X institution, then those documents which are required for the purpose of admission would be required in these institutions. However, if after that the student migrates to another institution, then as per the broad framework, whatever is the framework there in, the degree would be awarded by that institution. And NAD, of course, it is National Academic Depository, where you would have all your documents available in the digital repository form.
Ma'am, another question in continuation of this is by Raghavendra Shetty, sir. He's asking that, is it necessary to get a fresh admission for continuing his course in different institutions with his own choice of subjects for redemption if he has already had credits in ABC?
See, you can
Basically,
only...
fresh admission is fresh admission required or not? That is what it is.
See, redemption will only be in the program or course in which you have earned. Like, for example, if you have earned your credits in management, you can't redeem it for bio. You getting my point, ma'am? So redemption of the credits would only be in the subjects or courses or programs in which it has been earned.
Ma'am, next question is by another question by we have it from Amar Kurli ma'am only, that will the colleges suffer regarding admissions till course end, and will the intake capacity also suffer?
It may suffer, because I have already said multiple entry and exit and academic bank of credit will pose the biggest challenge for admission, and more so for self-sustaining organizations. Like, for example, if suppose you have a 60 intake, which is defined either by UGC or whatever it is, or AICT, as the case may be. And then, out of 60, if suppose 10 students after 1 year decide to leave and, join some other course and say whatever credits we have earned here. So I think a great deal of focus needs to be laid on as to how would admission process take place throughout the year, or would it be, like, 24/7 open admission where a student can essentially walk in within the time frame as long as he or she has the credit from other institution. So it would pose that kind of challenge, and more so on the institutions which are essentially self-financing and their main contribution comes from the fee of the students.
Ma'am, another question is relating to scholarships, that the scholarships by the government and colleges, how will they be managed?
See, as long as he is a student, and he only transfers from A institute to B institute, if it is a direct bank transfer, he keeps on getting it. However, I feel, again, it has not been worked out. If it is like this, that the student has left, suppose, after a certain 6 months or a year he has left, and then he decides to come back after 2 years, then probably for those 2 years, the scholarship may not continue.
Ma'am, that question is again coming up, like if a student is not from a A grade college, how can he or she be a part of ABC scheme?
Actually, Mamta ji, I would just clarify certain things over here, with your permission.
Yes, sir, anything.
See, you have very nicely explained all the aspects of the implementation methodology about ABC. Now, here Mamta ji has said time and again that there are things which are yet to come on place, and she has very categorically explained in terms of that what are the institutions which are eligible. And time and again she has made it clear that it is the university which is to be a partner in the ABC. I can say in terms of my colleges, we have 80 colleges affiliated with University of Delhi. I would not say affiliated, all are constituent colleges. And not all colleges are A-grade colleges. So there is no bar that all cannot participate. All colleges would participate in the ABC platform. Why? Because our university is A-grade university. By virtue of that, all these colleges, which are the constant colleges of the university, they would continue to enjoy the benefits of academic bank of credit. Adding one more point over here, when a question comes from the independent colleges, specifically in terms of autonomous colleges, the condition of UGC is already very clear that they are granted autonomous status if and only if they are having A grade. So ultimately there is no dearth or there is no lacking in this thing that the government is going to leave behind the institution. At the same time, when we talk about quality, the quality is so important. The government is giving a flexibility to the students to earn different kind of credits. I can share over here that I met few students about a few years back. They want to study one subject. They have taken admission in Delhi College of Arts and Commerce, which is a B grade institution, not an A grade. Slowly it would come up to that level also. And ALSC College, which is an A grade institution. What happened is that one subject combination they wanted to study in one college, it was not available in that college, but other college was offering that. But we could not offer that program because of rigidity of the boundaries. But through Academic Bank of Credit, we are going to do away with those boundaries. So ultimately, when Delhi College of Arts and Commerce students or the ARSD college students, they can come together, they can learn, and they have the flexibility to learn all those things. So as of now, there is no boundary amongst the colleges. The boundary is only for the universities to participate in these institutions. University must be A grade. See, just because of that quality consciousness, it could be a kind of a thing that we want university also to overcome all their challenges and could strive hard to get A grade from National Assessment and Accreditation Council. So I hope this would clear plenty of things to the listeners that the government is not stopping anybody. And I can also share over here that the government of India is going to launch the Academic Bank of Credit at their own platform. They have built that platform. Delhi University is going to be the first partner for those things because we have the maximum number of courses, we have maximum number of options which are available. Once our platform is tested, everybody can participate in all those platforms subject to the fulfilling of the statutory requirements as mentioned by Mamta ji. Please.
Thank you, sir. He explained so very well. But here, I just want to clarify one point. See, the colleges of Delhi University are constituent colleges. So, when university is A grade, it is allowed. However, the colleges, if it is an affiliated college, then the college also needs to be necessarily be A grade college. So your question where, that person is again and again asking that if he is not from an A grade institution, then of course, till the time the institution comes to that A grade, will not be really allowed to be transfer of credits, which is essentially as of now for the purpose of quality restricted to A grade institutions.
Apart from that, Mamta ji, I can add over here one more thing. Anjali ji, I can add because this discussion could be quite useful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Reason being is that the government is opening up. Because what we have planned, because what we have observed is the draft regulations at the UGC level. But what we have planned in consultation with the Ministry of Education is that why we deprive the students. If the university is A grade, suppose a university is not A grade, but an institution is A grade, then also there is a problem. But we are only as of now is considering that the university should be A grade. Institutions can still participate in those things because examinations are being conducted by the universities only. So under that circumstances, ministry is considering it that they would allow the institutions which are affiliated with A grade universities and can participate on that platform. So that is one thing. But definitely, we also look for that thing that all these institutions should come forward and strive hard to get A grade parameters in the NAC assessment. So that is one thing. Rest we will look forward to how the government would frame that policy, how the institution would come forward. Ultimately, we all know the Charles Darwin theory that the best would survive and the persons who are not able to come to that extent, they would die their natural death. So we would look for that also, that the institutions either would come to that level or they should slowly be phased out in a manner that they are no more required in such kind of institution when they are not able to give a quality teaching learning parameters to our students.
Sir, in this line only, like most of the points have been explained by you and ma'am, but I think these questions are coming again and again whenever discussions are going on. One is that Dr. G. Flora and some other participants are also asking that can our students from autonomous colleges join the courses which are being offered by premier institutes like IITs and places like this under
As
the
of now, see, now there is one more thing which Mamta ji has explained. I would explain that also.
Mhm.
See, we should understand the concept. It is a credit transfer. Every university is offering as of now is the CBCS, choice based credit system course, wherein essential requirement of 140 credits, 148 credits, 160 credits is specified by the UGC that a candidate has to earn these many number of credits before they are awarded a degree. So within these courses, there is a category of courses, the core courses, the elective courses, and within elective is generic elective, discipline elective, or dissertation also, then ability enhancement courses also. All these combination of courses when the student on the credit is there. So here again, so today's lecture was primarily for the implementation methodology. All these universities within their own academic council, they have to decide that how much flexibility they would allow these students before a degree is awarded to these institutions. A student from the autonomous college also, or from any other college, they can earn a credit from anywhere which are participating in this platform, the academic bank of credit. आपका आपका जो चेक है, आप जो बैंक का, जो ममता जी ने बताया, आपके बैंक का जो आज आपके लोगों के पास चेक है, वो आपका चेक जो है, जो इंडिया में बैंक है वही ऑनर करेंगे. आपका बैंक, अमेरिका का जो बैंक है उस चेक को ऑनर नहीं करेगा, सिंगापुर का बैंक उस चेक को ऑनर नहीं करेगा. इसी तरीके से जो इंस्टीट्यूशन इस एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट के प्लेटफॉर्म पे पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे, उसको ये यूजीसी और मिनिस्ट्री इंश्योर करेगी कि दे शुड रिस्पेक्ट the acceptability of the credits which a student has earned within those parameters of academic bank of credit. But the liberty still lies with the universities कि I may allow a student कि 60% credits तो आपको मेरे यहाँ से earn करने compulsory हैं, 70% मेरे यहाँ से earn करने का, 20% credit आप कहीं से भी लेके आ जाओ. रही बात दूसरी, अगर IIT भी इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे पार्टिसिपेट करेंगी और IITs के पास भी ऐसा कोई कोर्स होगा तो वो भी अलाउ हो जाएगा. जैसे हमारे फिजिक्स ऑनर्स के कोर्स है, हमारा इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स ऑनर्स का कोर्स है, सो ऑलमोस्ट रिलेटेड कोर्स है. कंप्यूटर साइंस के जो हमारे कोर्स हैं जो IITs में, NITs में, RECs में है, अगर वो वहां भी आ सकता है, सो all those who would participate in this platform, they would get those benefit of all those credit transfer, redemption, accumulation, and all those issues.
Yes,
just to add on one line to what very effectively explained by Dr. Vikas Gupta, that see, even university after due approval of its body, whatever is the body, has to define that, you know, what percentage of it would say core, what will it say electives, what would it say optional, what would it say ability enhancement, and that is well within the powers and jurisdiction of that specific university or HEI, as the case.
Ma'am, with your permission, I'll just take one last question and then we can.
They may send me the questions either on my Twitter handle or they can my email ID.
I'll also compile all these questions and put it there. Ma'am, one question from Sarbonti Chattopadhyay and Dr. Sunaina Kharif. They're asking that what if the university no longer qualifies to be a part of ABC, or as is being given that the affiliating college comes down to a lower grade than A grade? What will happen?
I think I have already replied to this, that the date, that specific date on which the university is downgraded or the college does not remain, all the students who are admitted before that specific date will continue to have the privilege of being enrolled as part of the scheme of Academic Bank of Credit. So, and of course, you know, these regulations, madam, would keep on changing. Everything is evolving. Anything which new start, initially it starts, it makes a hold, and then sooner and later, by the experience, by our socio-economic and academic background, we keep on striving for making it better, and we keep on making it better. So I think it is all the time evolving process. We are all evolving. To add on to the Darwin's theory, we'll keep on evolving. And, we will keep on undergoing that metamorphogenesis to reach the level that if we are giraffe, then, we have long enough neck to reach the leaves of a tall plant.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely questions are there on that. What will happen to the recruitment of teachers, and will the management support or all that? So all these things, ma'am, these are all part of the implementation that we will follow. I think once we are into that implementation process, so we should not
There is
have any.
just one sentence that, initially the conceptual level document comes, then macro level arrangements happen, then micro level nitty-gritties work out, and then, redressal happens. So I think as of now, from concept level, we are just trying to come to that macro level division of things. So I think micro level nitty-gritties and subsequently, various specific questions or those redressal of the grievances mechanism, I think these two are yet to be developed.
So, ma'am, there's a lot of food for thought that has been given to us that that we have to look into over the period of time, over the next 14 days, that how things are, and definitely we'll be covering up different aspects. Thank you, ma'am.
Dr.
you so much, Dr.
Rekha is smiling so very well and such a beautiful smile. So anything.
I'm so sorry. I had to keep my video off because I was actually in college. There was some work, and आपका lecture सिर्फ मैंने ही नहीं सुना. मेरे साथ जो even non-teaching के लोग काम कर रहे थे, वो भी सुने थे. And they were very happy because they said that this is such a new concept which is going to affect us, and it's so good, ma'am, कि आपके साथ बैठ के we all have been able to, listen to such a lovely discourse.
Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your kind words.
Really, it was, and of course, definitely for us also, it is a new lesson that we are learning, and a lot of cobwebs are being sort of removed. So that's so nice of you. Thank you so much for. I know you are very, very busy, ma'am. But sparing this time was very valuable to us. Thank you, Dr. Anjali.
Thank you, ma'am.
रेखा एक मिनट मैं लूंगा. रेखा एक मिनट.
जी सर, जी सर, जी सर,
जी सर.
रेखा आपके अलावा मैंने भी.
जी सर.
Oh, wonderful, sir.
Midway, I listened. ठीक है. What a scintillating performance by two stalwarts of this subject.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
The way they have handled the questions, beautiful questions put by the audience, and they nicely handled, remarkable.
Thank
We
you,
also
sir.
know Mamta Rani ji Agarwal, distinguished academician, eminent scholar, and accomplished administrator.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are grateful to you. Same
Thank
is
you, sir.
Dr. Vikas Gupta. He is one of us. He joined.
Yes, sir.
We know him for a long time because he joined teaching profession in ARSD College, right when I was there in ARSD College. He is a visionary administrator, a complete administrator, eminent scholar also. He is a source of inspiration. In fact, सारे प्रोग्राम के पीछे उसका वो हमारा संयोजक भी है. So he is our, one of the organizers also.
Yes, sir.
He is organizing team.
Yes, sir.
He is a distinguished officer. I mean, working with him is a privilege and a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you
He is
so
an
much.
academician also. He is an administrator also. और इस सारे प्रोग्राम के पीछे उसका he is the moving spirit behind this whole program. और लास्ट में मैं ये कहूँगा, we are indeed grateful to you, indebted to you. अब ये है situation दिल मांगे बोर. We would like to invite you again.
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
देखिए इतना इंटरेस्टिंग लेक्चर तो हम चाहेंगे आगे आपको दोबारा तकलीफ देंगे because it is a new concept. So many persons are कितने क्वेश्चंस आपको मिले हैं और कितने लोग जागरूक थे. इससे मुझे लगता है दोबारा आपको जब भी हमें मौका मिलेगा आपको बुलाएंगे. आप हमें प्रॉमिस करेंगे आप आएंगे जरूर.
Anytime, sir. Anytime for you. Thank you.
Very much. We are grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are just grateful to you, ma'am, for providing an understanding about the ABC scheme, the process which will be followed to implement the scheme at the higher education level, how the credit redemption will be undertaken to ensure that students get a degree using the deposited academic credits. Ma'am also with illustrations tried to explain in a very simple manner the entire scenario under the ABC scheme for which we are beholden. Significance of the scheme was also highlighted by ma'am. multi-entry and exit, flexibility, multidisciplinarian, meta-university concept, integration of different modes of learning were the key features which were stated by ma'am. The guidelines regarding mixed subjects to be opted for by the learners and other aspects relating to scheme were also stated by ma'am. Ma'am also highlighted the drawbacks associated with the scheme and suggested that we must embrace each and every student-centric program under the scheme with an open mind for successful implementation of the policy. Thank you, ma'am, for being there for us. And thank you, Dr. Vikas Gupta, sir, always for supporting and just stating or further increasing our knowledge about the entire concept or the scheme that was being discussed today by ma'am. Thank you to both of you, ma'am, and sir, for being there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gupta ji. Thank you, Rekha ma'am.
Namaskar,
Thank you,
namaskar,
Anjali
namaskar.
ji. And thank you so much, Dr. Vikas Gupta, for inviting me. Thank you.
थैंक यू मैडम, बहुत अच्छा लगा हमें. अब आपको दोबारा भी आपको मिलते रहेंगे.
जी
तो
सर.
आपने इतना इंस्पायरिंग, आपका जो इंस्पायरिंग जो स्पीच रही है हमारी, सो वी कांट फॉरगेट, वी हैव टू इनवाइट यू अगेन. ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच, वी आर एनलाइटेंड.
ऑल द बेस्ट, ऑल द बेस्ट. थैंक यू, बाय, टेक केयर.
विकास जी को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आप हमारे मोटिवेटर हो. आपकी वजह से ये प्रोग्राम जो ऑल इंडिया लेवल, नेशनल लेवल का, इंटरनेशनल लेवल का चला है, केवल इसके लिए आपको क्रेडिट जाता है. आपने इंस्पायर किया, आपने मोटिवेट किया. ये हमने 15 दिन की जो तैयार किया है, केवल आपका ही इसमें ब्रेन है. दिस इज अ ब्रेन चाइल्ड.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. Vikas.
Thank you.
Gupta,
Thank you.
3 cheers for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
थैंक यू मच. नमस्कार.
मैम, आप और सर लीव करना चाहे मीटिंग तो कर सकते हैं. अभी आई जस्ट वेट फॉर थैटल सर नाउ. आई लीव दिस मीटिंग ऑन सर.
कौन
सर, अभी साइमन सर का सेशन 4 o'clock, विल रिज्यूम विद द सेशन एट 4 o'clock सर.
ठीक है.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
4 बजे साइमन के साथ आ जाएंगे फिर. ठीक है. ओके, मैं अभी रास्ते में हूँ.
हाँ जी, इसी लिंक को सर फिर से टच करना है एंड यू विल बी देयर. थैंक यू सर.
थैंक यू.
प्रियंका.
हाँ जी मैम.
बच्चे, you leave the meeting on. I am also leaving the meeting on because YouTube live will continue with that. सिर्फ कैमरा.
ठीक है.
और थैंक यू.
ठीक है मैम, मैं मीटिंग ऑन रखती हूँ मैम.
There's a problem with the system of one, the other can have it. Huh? That's why. Thank you.
और क्या हाल है तुम्हारा? ठीक हो? कितने बजे निकले हैं? मुझे हंसराज कॉलेज में लेट हो गया मैं आज.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Anshika. How are you?
Good ma'am. आप कैसे हैं?
बढ़िया.
Hello, Anshika. How are you?
Ma'am, I'm fine.
मैंने तुम्हें भी co-host बना दिया है.
अंजलि मैम मैं एग्जिट कर दूं फिर क्या?
हाँ हाँ, प्रियंका, you can exit.
हाँ, और मैं ना सलोनी से बात हो गई थी तो परसों का मैम मैं एक सेशन ले
कल.
लूंगी,
हाँ हाँ, ठीक है ना.
तो आप फिर मुझे बता देना जब
मैम ये
जैसे
लाइव जा रहा है, गेस.
हाँ ठीक है. Okay. Thank you.
बाय मैम. बाय अंशिका.
बाय बाय.
Now we'll be waiting for Anshika. We'll be waiting for Thatin sir. Another 3 minutes are there. I'll just check.
Okay,
other
ma'am.
हाँ, ठीक है.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
मैम अभी लाइव कंटिन्यू चल रहा है ना?
Because there were some technical issues happening. That is why we are keeping it live that way. We'll talk about it later. Huh?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anshika, I've asked sir, Simon sir will be joining in a second. Just once he joins, we'll be starting with the session.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, Anshika.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, a very warm good afternoon. This side, I'm Dr. Anshika Agrawal. We will be starting the session soon on this link only. Due to some technical glitches, our resource person from Kerala is unable to join, and we are just occupied in sorting out that technical glitch. You are requested to kindly be there. We will start the session soon. Thank you.
Kiran Verma ma'am and other participants who are requesting about the timely start of the sessions. Ma'am, we are trying to be on time, but it is just the technical glitch which is causing some problem. So I just request you to please be patient with us. We are just trying to coordinate the things and make the person join. Thank you. And a lot of questions were coming up regarding the timings of the session and the other things. I think every entire schedule along with the timings have already been shared in the Telegram group. I'll make sure that it is being sent one more time. And regarding the links, it is being announced even in the Telegram group that there was some technical issue in the YouTube live. That is why the link was getting changed. We are trying to sort out the issue. It will be done by the evening today. Priyakrita ma'am, session will be on this link only. We are already there. We are not able to make the resource person join. That is the problem. Session will happen on this link only. Ma'am, session will be happening on this link only. Ma'am, session will be happening on this link only. A very good afternoon to all the participants. We were to start on with the session by Professor Simon Thattel on the topic ABC implementation and choice-based credit system. But due to some technical problems, Sir was not able to join from Kerala. He's having some power issue and thing. So what we are going to do is that we are winding up the session for today. And instead of this session, what we will be doing is that you will be getting the recorded session link, and information relating to it will be shared with you in the Telegram group by the earliest maximum by 6 o'clock in the evening. So I just regret for all the inconvenience caused to the participants, and we'll make sure that whatever is the technical glitch happening on our end, that is being sorted out by evening today, so that we are able to get through the smooth sessions. And another suggestion that was being given by the participants regarding the putting up of the daily schedule, I'll make sure that the same is being shared in the Telegram group. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm just concluding the sessions today, the live session. The session, again, I'm repeating, the session that it is there by Professor Simon Thattel. Either it will be coming as a recorded session, or another session in that place will be there for you to watch at your convenience at the MOOCs platform, and information relating to it will be shared by you by the evening. Thank you in the Telegram group. I'll make sure that the same is even being shared in the email, so that it is easy for the participants to share it from either way. Thank you. A very good afternoon once again. And with this, we are coming to the end of the sessions, live sessions today. Thank you. We meet again tomorrow as per the schedule that will be shared with you in the Telegram group. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Priyanka ma'am and others who are asking about the feedback form, that is, there is problem regarding the feedback form, or there is problem regarding the Telegram group information. Telegram group information is already the one that is being coming in the confirmation mail that it is there. So I request you, Priyanka ma'am, to please go through that confirmation mail. There the information is being given for you to join the Telegram group. Regarding the assessment and the assignment, the questions are being asked. Regarding that, we can say is that after every video watching or whatever MOOCs platform, when you're approaching that MOOCs platform, the assessments for the days or for the live session as well as for the recording session, the assessments will be coming up after the recorded videos only. So on an average, we will be having around 8 to 10 assessments, and based upon that, the evaluation will be done. I think most of the queries I have already covered. Any problem that it is there, you just come across the messages, WhatsApp, phone numbers are being shared of myself, Dr. Anjali Gupta, Dr. Rekha Dayal, and other numbers are there in the brochure. I request you to just drop a message if you have problem regarding the feedback form or any other thing. It will be easy for us to sort out the things, that instead of calling, you just message us your grievance, and we will try to forward it to the concerned person who is responsible to take care of that grievance. That will help us in making the process a smooth one for you to go through this refresher course. Thank you. A very good afternoon once again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.